All right, everybody, welcome back to another enticing episode.
Use some big words.
I like the big words. You just messed me up. All right, everybody, welcome back to another good episode of Lot Life. I dumbed it down a little bit for my co-host, Andrew. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing great.
All right, we are here in the Randall Ford Studios. We are alive and kicking. It's actually a Monday. You know what that means? It means we had a pretty busy weekend.
We did. I was slammed.
Yeah.
I was working like 3 or 4 deals at a time.
My guess is this is probably the sound that you heard after you got off work Saturday.
100%. That's exactly.
That is a refreshing sound. Although this is probably not the beverage of choice that you had whenever you heard that sound.
No.
This is
but it sounds like that.
Yeah, this is a rain inferno.
Those are super good, by the way.
I am promoting this completely free. Not for choice, but just because they haven't paid us anything. But it's still a great drink, and I'm going to put it out there. So, Rain, if you're watching, come on.
We drink a lot of Rain. A lot of it. I drink Rain all the time, which I got a Rockstar, but that's Rain in our vending machine, so I can't get Rain.
Why don't we have Rain in our vending machine?
I don't know. They need to change that.
Talk to our vendors.
What's y'all's favorite energy drink?
Yeah, exactly. We've talked about that before, but that's never a bad topic.
Yeah.
But on today's show, we are going to talk about credit building, a little more on that. I'll also like to tell you that next week's show, we've got a really fun one. It's going to be a 2-parter, 2 different ones. One on what your salesman ask you and why, and then another one, questions you could ask your salesperson.
Because a lot of the times that we ask y'all questions, but we never get questions back.
Yeah.
So
I'd also like to give a big shout out to Red River Credit Union.
Yeah.
We had my wife on here for the last show. It was a big show. There was a lot of views. It got a lot of plays on that show, a lot of valuable information. We followed it up with a little trip down to Red River for the grand opening. It was packed out. There was all kinds of people there.
A lot of people there.
Yeah, Andrew we both did some interviews on the spot. Andrew learned that maybe have a phone cooler with you.
Oh yeah, my temperature on my phone, I started overheating. It was kind of hot though outside.
Yeah.
It really was. But there was so many people there. I mean, it was packed full. They had food. There's a lot of good people there. It was
great. There was a great community turnout, which is a nice thing to see. A bunch of people out supporting that new credit union. If you haven't been down there, you should definitely go check it out.
Or join as a member.
Yeah, join as a member. But it got us started on the credit. A lot of people seem to have questions about credit. So we thought we'd put another show out there kind of on credit. And some of you people out there understand credit. You got it all down. So for you, just watch it because we're going to say something stupid. Know that will happen. I do have Andrew here, so it's almost a given that will happen.
Facts.
For you people that maybe do have questions about credit, you're new to the credit game, maybe we can put out some little nugget out there to help you learn a little bit and build it quicker.
Because they didn't teach this stuff in high school.
No.
So, I don't know why.
Well, they probably didn't teach you because you weren't there.
Oh, well.
So maybe they did teach it and you just missed it that day.
I know that. No, my buddy Blake went to school and he told me that
he does have a reference then of somebody that did actually go to school and pay attention, and they did not teach him that either.
Yeah.
And again, we talked about that before. I had business math taught me about checkbooks, but again, nothing about credit cards weren't really a thing back whenever I was a child because one, they were etched onto rock and they were heavy to carry. So we didn't really do a lot of credit cards back then.
You are old.
Yeah, I am. So I bought my dinosaurs on cash. I did not. I traded valuable sticks and.
Were they just as expensive then?
Yeah.
Is it now?
Yeah. 2 jewels, a stick, and a goat is usually what it would take to get a dinosaur back then.
That ain't too bad.
Yeah. It was a full-size goat, not one of the little pygmy ones.
Oh yeah. You know those faint goats?
Yeah, the fainting goats. Yeah.
I love those things.
All right, but we digress.
Yeah.
Let's dig into a little bit credit. Some of the things to know about credit. First thing is avoid mouse house loans. Now, some people don't know what is a mouse house, Andrew. Whenever we use that term.
What's a mouse house loan?
Yes.
Okay, mouse house loans like local loans.
Yeah, let's not put anybody down, but there is the little loans where you can go to and just get like payday advances. You go do that or
even online. They're like, hey, do you want a $500 loan?
Yeah, those little loans, and then typically once people fall into that habit, you'll see on a credit report it's boom, 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 boom. They'll 20 or 30 of those things down. Whenever you send something off credit to try to purchase a vehicle, whenever the banks see those, they tend to frown on those. That's one of the things they see that looks like maybe you have a little bit of trouble managing your finances.
Now it's the doing one, you're okay, but doing it repeatedly, like just boom, boom, just keep on doing it, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and the reason the banks see that, they see that the income that you have coming in is not quite enough for you to sustain your lifestyle and to make it, so you have to go get a little loan to do that. That tells the bank, whenever they look at that, it's like, okay, if they're having trouble doing this and now they're asking for a $500 car payment, do we feel comfortable that they are going to be able to make this $500 car payment?
Yep. Not only that, they got to still make the loan payment too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the things that whenever the banks see that, so if you can find a way to avoid those, try to avoid using those. The other thing is, if you do have credit cards, whenever you get those credit cards, a lot of times people will go, like, do you?
I have like 7.
Okay, let me ask you, when, like, you probably have some, maybe like a Best Buy or a Home Depot, a Lowe's.
I have a Best Buy one just because they offer 0% for 60 months.
And
6 months.
That is great. A lot of times these places, though, the box stores, places like that, they'll offer these credit cards because you're getting ready to make a major purchase.
Yep.
Let's say you're going to go buy a $6,000 lawnmower. You did that and you got a credit card from Lowe's, whatever it might be, for that lawnmower. Let's say they approved you for $7,000. You put that lawnmower on there, all of a sudden you have a balance of $6,000, even if it is 0%, but you have a credit line of $7,000.
So it's 90%.
Yeah, so it's 90%. Whenever the banks look at these things, they look at your available credit. You have 10% available credit on that.
Correct.
So you could have several credit cards, but if you have those balances up there really high to the limit, then that is a detractor on your credit.
Yeah, so you like to keep your balance at least, what do they say, under 30%?
Yeah.
Is what they like to say on your credit cards, under 30%. Keep it active, because if you don't use your credit card and if you get a credit card and you keep it at 0 balance, they will eventually kick you off if you're not using it. So, but you want to have that available credit line always open because it builds up your credit.
Yeah, because credit cards aren't bad. They're not evil, like some people might say.
Yeah.
But you just have to use them. Don't let them use you.
Correct.
If you do that, use them every so often, pay off your balances. The worst thing you can do with credit cards is just have a big balance that runs, and those interest rates, whew, they can get up there.
They can, but like I said, if you get some credit cards that run 0% for something, you can use your credit card and pay for something 0%. Like I bought a PS4, 0% interest.
Yeah.
Paid that down, and when they were like, "All right, it's about to pay," I just paid it off.
Sure. Yeah, you pay it off and then you wait a while, but you just put something on there so you keep using that credit card a little bit so they don't ever close out that credit card.
Correct.
But you just use it, pay it off. You don't ever want to pay interest if you don't have to.
Correct.
Now, sometimes things will come up and you need those things for an emergency. That's perfectly understandable. But just know that if you have a balance that is close to your limit, over that 30% threshold, then that is going to count against you on your credit. And that's one of the reasons that will hold your credit score down.
And you want some of this stuff right here, but the reason is because there's a lot of credit out there that's like 720, 710, and you don't have nothing on there but maybe one thing of a $200 credit card, and that really doesn't show established credit.
Right.
So getting more stuff on your credit.
Yeah. So that's where a credit card can be helpful, because the banks want to see at least 4 lines of credit.
Correct.
So, and if you get 1 or 2 lines, then it's a lot easier to get that 3rd and 4th line. You just have to be careful about it. Don't get that and think that that is just free reign to go out and have fun and run up a charge, and then think that you can just pay it later, because you can pay it later, but it is going to hurt you if that balance is too high.
Yeah, and if you've never had a car loan before, those help too.
Yes, exactly. One of the best ways to help.
It really does, especially your 3rd or 4th car, but it's almost automatic after that time.
Yeah. And I mean, we work for Ford, and I will say that Ford credit, once you get a going through Ford as your lender, and you will pay them, if you pay them well, then they will never forget you, and they will give you some incentives, direct offers. They will also pick you up at a rate that a lot of places won't. Sometimes they'll give you a tier bump. I know if you're not in the car business, you don't really understand that, but customers are scored on a tier system. So that Ford will give you a tier bump, even maybe if you are tier 3 credit, they will give you tier 2 credit just like that, because you have financed something with Ford.
Correct, and they also might give you a credit card too.
Yes, that is true. Another thing that people don't understand are collections. Now, I know you might have canceled that cable and you felt like they were just getting in your pocket. They were charging you too much.
Guys.
You've got that cable box and you say, you know what? They're charging me all this money. No, I am not taking my time and effort. I'm not sending that cable box back. I'm not going to go take it. Guess what? They're going to charge you for it. And guess what? It's going to hit your credit.
Yep.
You're going to go to buy a house, a car, whatever it might be, and somebody's going to have to break the information news that, hey, did you know the cable company turned you into collections for $52 for that one little cable box you had? And it's sitting there just hitting your credit, pulling your score down. So take the cable box back, whatever it might be. If you rented a couch for $52 a week, go pay that off.
Something about the collections, though, I had to learn the hard way because once upon a time I did have a collection on there. You can actually call the collection agency and negotiate the price of the collection. So if the collection's actually like, say, $500, sometimes I'll negotiate with you. All you have to do is pay like $240.
Yeah.
So
you want
it's a lot
get
easier
it,
than what you think.
but you want to get it before it gets to collections.
Correct.
If you owe something, go pay that bill. They will turn it over to collections. You might think that you win in the short run, but in the long run, that collections is going to hurt you. But if you do go pay it off, even if it is a small balance, you think, how much is $62 going to hurt my credit? It shows as an unpaid collection.
Correct.
If you pay it off, it will show as a paid collection. It will still have a collection on there, but a paid collection at least shows responsibility on your part currently, and that you are trying to take care of your stuff. Again, that is something that the banks will look at and say, okay, he is being responsible, so maybe we will look at him a little more favorably.
Yeah. Mine was a Verizon phone. I told those people they would never help me, so
Yeah. So you showed them.
I
didn't
showed them, man. Let me tell you, they showed me.
You showed them by getting an extra 10% on your rate for the next vehicle that you buy, or a turn down.
I did.
But Verizon,
I
my
paid.
gosh.
I paid.
Yeah, you taught
them. They taught me.
Yes.
Yeah. But I was young. Learned some valuable lessons.
And again, hopefully we're getting to young people
Yeah, I
right
hope
now
so.
that they can learn this stuff the easy way by being told, by listening to their elders such as myself, versus learning the hard way by getting turned down on something or not getting a rate that they want to get.
Correct.
Another big thing is paying your bills on time.
That's a big one. You would think that that would be like a common sense type of thing, paying your bills on time, but sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. And we understand that. Sometimes you come across hard times and you think, I just need this money a little bit hard. And we're not saying that you shouldn't pay certain things, but if you can try to pay it on time, sometimes it's just 2 to 3 days.
Correct.
But if it gets to that late fee, I know it might squeeze you, but take a little squeeze, pay that bill on time, get it in there before it's supposed to be due. That will help your credit. And again, a little bit of uncomfortable situation now, squeezing your budget a little bit to get that thing paid on time will pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
Because a 5 to 6% rate difference between having bad credit to having good credit, that's how big, sometimes as much as 10%. And that amount of difference on your payment makes a huge difference.
And it's super easy to ruin your credit, and it's super hard to build it.
Yes. It just takes a few bad decisions and you'll tank that credit, and then it seems like a lifetime trying to get it back.
Yes, it does.
You can drop 15 to 50 points just like that, and you can build 5 points. It can take like 5 months to
Yes.
get 5 points back on
Yeah.
that credit sometimes.
Is that all we have on?
There was one other thing, and now I cannot remember what it was. So
You
I did write it
have
down.
a lot of more lists
Yeah,
than
well,
I do.
I write down little notes, so you just kind of wing
You
it.
just gave me, yeah, I do. That's odd. You gave me a small paper of what you're
Yeah.
gonna go over, but his has a lot more on it than what mine
I
does.
did want to say that, wanted to remind everybody that the best of the River Valley is going strong
Yes.
right now. We would love for you guys to go vote. Are you putting a link on
Yeah. I'm
this?
gonna put the link on there. So our link is on the YouTube as well. So we have a link for YouTube, link for Best of River Valley. If you don't mind going ahead, and I'm about to get tongue tied.
I don't let him say too many words in a row.
Yeah, I almost messed up
Try
right
to
there.
keep him in there.
Anyways,
It turns into rubber, blah, 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 blah.
That's exactly what it sounded like if I didn't slow down, because I seen the look that you gave me, like I'm about to mess up. But
If your mess up wasn't quite bad enough for me to call you
I
out
know.
on, I was like,
I was getting there,
he
though.
didn't. He's like, he's
I
just
stopped.
one flub away from
I did.
a roast.
I stopped. But if you don't mind, there's a link on there. Click that. It's to vote for the Best of River Valley. But if you don't mind, and click the link for our YouTube and subscribe on our YouTube. We are up to 35 subscribers. We're trying to get to 40, so go vote, go subscribe, and like and share, please. And just press that button. Just sit there and tap it.
Yes. The Best River Valley is a very important contest to us, so we really appreciate your vote. We are defending champs. We won it last year. We want to win it again. It's the best dealership, best salesman, Jimmy Haas. He's a great guy here. I hear rumors they might even be running for mayor.
Oh yeah, there is rumors.
So
of
this
that.
is your chance to practice voting for him. Get used to that, and then you can do it again. The mayoral campaign.
We're doing like a bunch of small videos with Jimmy the Haas and Chris
Jimmy
is doing
the Haas.
it. Jimmy the Haas.
It's Jimmy the Freak.
Or Jimmy the Freak, yeah. Well, Jimmy the Haas, but Jimmy the Freak. But yeah, if you want to see that, those videos are really funny.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
so.
We enjoy doing these videos. It's one of the little perks of doing this job. We can make videos and make other people look as stupid as we do most of the time.
Yeah. I like it when everybody else looks just as stupid as I do.
Yeah. Another thing we want to touch on real quick. We just announced this over the weekend. 10% off all new vehicles, excluding Super Duties and Raptors. We are really wanting to. They are delivering. There is a big transport truck out the window right now. There was one here earlier this morning. Ford has finally got production ramped up. If you haven't been to Randall Ford, you can come and see that we do not have the biggest lot in the world. It doesn't take long before our lot gets flooded with new vehicles. We have got to move these out. We have to just do whatever we can to move these. We don't care if we take a loss on some of these. We've got to get them cleared out, because once Ford's production is going, they're not going to slow down. They are pushing through until the next pandemic hits and shuts things down again. So
10% off is huge, by the way. I'm talking $7,000 to $8,000 to $9,000 off.
Yeah.
There's even one that's what is it, $100,000 or $10,000 off? No, it'd be $12,000 off.
Yeah, the
out
numbers
there.
are big.
It's crazy how much. It's just wild. I mean,
And we were talking. We printed all this stuff up. Everything. We actually missed on there's a few things that are exceptions. The Bronco Raptor got excluded from the exception. So now that we put it out there, the Bronco Raptor is 10% off.
yeah, and that's one's $97,000. So that's $9,700. Yeah, that's off the price, and there's not another dealership that is doing that, by the way.
I didn't even tell him that math. He did all that in his head.
It's a little bit hard.
That's why we do 10%.
If you just add 9, 7.
That's why we don't do 9% off.
Oh, yeah,
we don't do 11% off.
Yeah, don't do that.
Andrew can't handle it.
Has
He
to be
melts
10.
down. We
Has
have
to be 10 or 1%.
Yeah.
1%, 10%, or 100%. And that's all I got.
Yeah, he can do that. But
Or
the
50,
100%
50%.
sale is never going to happen, just so you know. Yeah, quit throwing that out there.
Why not? We can't do that?
We cannot. Only if you're willing to participate 100%.
No, I'm out.
Okay, all right. But yes, that is going on right now. We want you to know about that. We still got some great rates going as well. I see a few people starting to trickle in here. We are early Monday morning. People are starting to show up. Yes. We've got business going. We've already got 4 or 5 out for the day. I just took a little break to get out here to do this. Don't forget about next week. Tune in. This is going to be some fun stuff. We've got some good things going on the salesman's questions. It's going to be a fun show.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of information. Some of it useful, maybe. I don't know.
Most of the time it's not, but sometimes it is.
Yeah, get that nugget. That's all you're looking for.
Go ahead and like and subscribe, guys. It just helps us.
Go vote.
It's just super easy to do it. And yeah, go vote for the Best of River Valley. Vote Randall Ford for Best Dealer. Also, Jimmy Haas is the Salesman
of the Year.
Yes, Salesman of the Year. It's super easy to vote. It's a click of a finger for you, but it means the world to us. So
36 subscriber. 36 subscriber.
Get that
I know you're
36
out there.
subscriber.
Do it.
Sound like me
Do
when I
it.
talk. But yeah, that's all we have. So guys, see ya.